Good evening, everyone. If you're on this call, please share the link with your friends, share it to groups that you belong to, share it to everyone that you know is supposed to be on this call. Share the link and make sure that they are here. About to have another swell time. About to have another swell time this evening. Please share the link, share it to everyone that you know should be here tonight. We're discussing fostering creativity in a team. You want to make sure your team members are on this call. You want to make sure that your staff are on this call. You want to make sure that your friends that are business owners, you want to make sure that your family members that have one businesses or another, or even a 9 to 5, any creative that you know should be on this call. It's starting probably in the next 1 minute thereabouts. So please share the link. Share the link, share the link. Let them know that something powerful is going on and they need to be here. This is the Velocity of Ideas by the Genesis Conference, and you do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it for anything. So, yes, share it. Share the link. Tell them to come. If you're on this call, you're welcome. I assure you that you're about to have the time of your life. You're about to have the time of your life. So just get ready. I'm excited already, as you can see. Um, if you don't have your journal here, grab your journal, grab your pen, grab your journal, grab your pen. We're going to be exploring fostering creativity in a team this evening. So um, I want you to make sure that since you're here already, you're getting the best out of the conference, out of the session. So share the link. We're starting a couple of seconds now. Couple of seconds to start. I know that we are more than this in the community, so please go and tag your friends, go and tag your co-workers, go and tag all the people that you know that are supposed to be a part of this conference. Um, our guest is with us already. This evening, we have a strategy and management consultant in our midst. And I'll just quickly go through his bio so that we can set our attention all right. We can know what to expect, right, from the professional that is in our midst this evening. Chika Isaac is a strategy and management consultant and personal transformation specialist, developing and managing the implementation of growth strategies at various levels towards raising economic giants. He's the founder and managing partner at Speed Up Prime Consulting Limited, a business brand strategy, management consulting, and human capacity development firm aiding innovative growth. He has almost a decade of experience working in business planning, management and strategy, brand and marketing development, project management, investment readiness, and corporate training within multi industry startups and MSMEs. He has worked with notable brands and organizations like Social Landa Digital Agency, Xavier Consulting, Startup South, ICT Africa, Young Breeds, Kasuko Communications, and more across education, hospitality, food, healthcare, construction, fashion, production, manufacturing, telecommunications, and technology industries. Chika is a certified member of the International Strategic Management Institute (CISM) with a Master in Business Administration in view. He also holds several other certifications in business development and management, digital media and technology, project management, and leadership. Although he holds a first degree in building technology, he has dedicated his life to building businesses and people powerful. Driven by passion for individual growth and development, he has facilitated the training of over 5,000 young minds and business executives on business leadership, personal development, digital technology, and related subjects towards the achievement of SDG 4, which is quality education, and 8, decent work and economic growth. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're excited, just as I am, because we are receiving a well rounded man this evening to take us through fostering um, creativity in a team. I'd like you to, with a round of emojis and a lot of noise, please make welcome Mr. Chika Isaac. Hello, Chika. You have the floor.
Hi, thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for the introduction. Good evening. If you can hear me, kindly let me know in comment section. I would like to know if you can hear me clearly. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Hey, Bidemi, thank you so much. Isaac can hear me. Amara can hear me. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have a lot to do this evening. So I will try as much as possible to just go straight to the point and not waste too much of our time. I believe we've been having a wonderful conference so far since the first session. I know we had a session this morning around what's it called around brand development, something around that, right? So our session this evening is just basically going to ride on other sessions that we've had in the past. So my name is Chika. Chika Isaac is the name. I run a consulting firm, Speed Up Prime Consulting, and basically what we do at Speed Up is to help businesses grow. Um, at whatever stage you're in, if you're probably at the idea stage, we help you grow into become a viable business. If you're at the stage where you're already running your business, but you need to scale, right? We also help also around investment readiness and all of sorts. But our focus this evening, can you make me share my screen? Okay, so if you can see my screen, kindly let me know. If you can see my screen, please let me know so that we. Somebody saying I should type out the consultancy name. I think you can see it it's on my screen. Okay, great. So if you can see my screen now, let me know so that we can move forward. Okay, I think we can. Okay, so um okay, thank you very much, Angela. Thank you very much, Oluwadunsin. Okay, so we're going to move forward. The topic we are considering this evening is fostering creativity in a team. Fostering creativity in a team. Right. I'm going to start out by this quote. Right. The quote says, "Business is the salt of life." Business is the salt of life. What exactly does that mean? Um, I'll be explaining. Yes. So business is the sort of life basically means that for everything we are doing as individuals, every career path we're trying to pave for ourselves, right? The long and short of it is that we find ourselves in a business, right? Either as a professional working with a business, right? Or as an entrepreneur, you're trying to what's it called now? Build your own business, or as an investor trying to invest in another business. I don't know if I'm making sense, right? Those are like three ways by which many of us join businesses, right? So everything around life circles around business by the way. Other ways can be either as a self-employed, self-employed being that you currently run your own small thing, um, or you are intending to run a small stuff, or you're a freelancer, right? everything is still boils down to business. If you're an investor and probably a professional, you can be an angel investor, right? If you are an entrepreneur and also an investor, it could be what we call institutional investors. So these are VCs, that's venture capitalist firms, some developmental firms, even banks are institutional investors, and all of sorts. But long and short of it all is that we are all building our lives and our career path, right? In a circle where business is at the center, right? We're building our lives and our career path in a circle where business is at the center of it all. So basically, we need to understand, if we understand that fact, first of all, that business is at the center of everything you're doing, then it's important for us to pay keen attention to how businesses are being done, right? It's important to pay keen attention to how to grow a business. It's important to pay attention to how do you build creativity in a team. So I want to believe that we are having a mixed audience here today. I don't know if you can in the comment section let me know if you run a business or you are an entrepreneur. If you consider yourself an entrepreneur, in the on the call, right? Just on in the comment section, just type entrepreneur. Just type entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur on the call, type entrepreneur. Let's quickly do a voting. I want to know how many entrepreneurs you have on the call. I want to also know how many professionals you have on the call. So if you're a professional, you type professional. If you are just an investor, right, type investor. If you are self-employed, it means that you are mixing your professional skill with entrepreneurship prowess. Type self-employed, right? If you currently okay, I can see Godia Peter says he's a professional and investor. We have entrepreneur. Okun Tino is an entrepreneur. Amara is a professional. Let's keep it coming. I want to know how many the kind of audience we have here today. Let's keep it coming. We have a few more minutes. So okay, self-employed, interesting, entrepreneur, professional. Started working in an office, interesting. Interesting. So we have, I think we have, you can still keep it coming. We have a very mixed audience, right? Which is very interesting, right? It's interesting because we need to understand how business works, basically, either as an entrepreneur, either as a professional or an investor. Everybody needs to understand how business works. Why do you need to understand how business works as a professional? Is so that you can be able to contribute your very best and the very um, the best possible you can to that business, right? As an entrepreneur, if you understand how business works, you can build a business that is successful. As a self-employed, right, you can also build your small business in such a way that it thrives, right? Um, then, as an investor, before you even invest in a business, at the first place, you need to know how business works. You need to know that this business is positioned for success. Someone is saying, but I'm confused. I'm supposed to change to being an entrepreneur now. Don't worry. I'm going to break down that in the question and answer session, right? I want the session to really focus on the topic fostering creativity in a team, right? We're going to break down the concept of professional, self-employed entrepreneur, right? And all of sorts. We'll break it down maybe in the question Q&A session. Okay, so what I'm trying to draw around all of this is to let us know that business at the very peak of it, right, is interconnected. Business at the very peak of it is interconnected with our lives. So there's no way at all you want to tell me that you're doing anything in this life and you're not going to interface with the business. You're going to school to go and to do whatever it is. We went to school to do whatever it is we want to do or study, and every of it circles back to working with a business, building a business, or investing in a business, right? So um, that's basically why we need to study or learn things around business. Also, my next slide. Every successful business that you see, right, is built by a team. Every successful business that you see today is built by a team. Every successful business you see today is built by a team. And team, some people say it is together everyone achieves more. Together everyone achieves more. So it means that for a business to thrive, it means a group of people, a group of individuals have to come together to make it work. Right? For us at Speed Up Prime, we have our tagline to be together to more, right? Because we believe strongly that for every any business to thrive, and our goal is to help businesses grow. So for business to grow, we have to pull together a team of great guys, right? Mixed personalities, mixed interests and passions to make business work, right? So we need to put all of these things together to make business. For every business that you see that is thriving today, that business is being built by a team. We did a research sometimes back. We're trying to find out, oh, businesses, how many businesses in Nigeria have stayed over 100 years, right? Very, very, very funny thing. It's funny to find out that we really have not built a business to that point. However, we found out one company, and that's these guys that make alabukun. Very strange thing, right? I don't know if we know alabukun. If you know alabukun, just let me know in the comment section. If you know that's powdered sachet. I don't know if it's like a herbal medicine. I'm going to call it, but the powdered sachet drug that they use for maybe body pain, malaria. If you know what alabukun is, yeah, let me see. Yes, so these guys have stayed for over 100 years. The question becomes, how did they get to that point? Right? How did they get to that point? That means what we discovered is although the business was started by a man who involved his children and all, they actually built the business around it, around it a strong team, right? They built the business around a very solid team. And to date, the business is still there. I've not really checked recently to know if they are still doing well in terms of their revenue, but the business is still there. Internationally, we have very big brands, Coca-Cola and all of that brands, just name it, right? Who have been there for years. And one of the things we'll find out is, apart from strategies and every other thing that is in place, the team is one critical part, right? That makes, yeah, the business thrive. Okay, now let's talk about business life cycle. Um, I'm trying to rush this part because I want us to keep the meat of the matter, the main thing, right? That's fostering creativity in team. But before we foster creativity in a team, we need to understand how the business exactly works, right? And how the team is critical to that business. Every business pass through these stages in their existence. What I mean is every business starts at the very cradle stage where an idea forms in a person's mind, right? And the person begin maybe call a few friends together and they start forming what we sometimes call a startup, right? Or they start out a business enterprise. Let me use it that way because when we get to the tech space, startup the story is quite different. So the business is introduced into the market space, right? Then they move to the second phase, which is the growth phase over time. And then they get to a point where they mature. Now, the challenge begins to happen when businesses mature. And this is where a lot of, although in Nigeria, some businesses die at the very introductory stage. There are a lot of factors to why business gets to this point. But my focus is when businesses get to a maturity stage, what makes them not decline like every other business, right? Every other business begins to decline when they get to a certain point, a certain peak in business, right? What makes them not to decline? And that's what we call innovation. Innovation is what makes a business begin to relive its life cycle again. If you check every business that I mentioned now, say Coca-Cola, for example, I'm going to use Coca-Cola as an example, right? Coca-Cola is thriving now, not because they have been living out the same thing they've been doing over the years, it's because they reinvent themselves by innovation, right? That's the reason why every business will thrive and stay over the years. Now, how do we come about innovation? Innovation comes from creativity, right? Innovation is trying to find new ways to do things, find new ways to solve problems. So if you're building, you know, when people say they are doing they are trying to disrupt the market, which is also an argument in the space. When people say they are trying to disrupt the market, what actually they are trying to do is they are trying to find better ways, new ways to solve a problem. Right? We know in our world today, AI is one of the innovative ways people are using to solve problems, right? Artificial intelligence, right? And people are building innovative solutions out of artificial intelligence. However, it's important to note that innovation does not just happen. Innovation comes from creativity, right? When I say innovation comes from creativity, I mean that as individuals, as humans, we are foundationally supposed to be creative individuals. Our mind is built in such a way that we think about new ways, right? We think about ideas, we think about how to get things done faster, or how to get things done better, or how to get things done in different ways, right? That's where creativity comes in. So we have creative minds, but everything leads towards innovation, and innovation leads to an increased life cycle for a business. I don't know if you understand how this is connecting. So every successful business needs a team, right? And every successful business gets to a point where if they don't innovate, they are going to decline. For them to innovate, they need creativity, right? And it means that for them to innovate, they need creativity in their team, because the team is like the powerhouse of the business at the end of the day. So, what exactly is creativity, right? What exactly is creativity? What exactly is creativity? If I ask us now what creativity is, a lot of us will have different ideas as to what we think creativity is, right? But I stumbled on one definition which I think captures my thoughts rightly. The definition by Robert Franklin, right? And he is saying that creativity is the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, alternatives or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, or entertaining ourselves and others. I'll go again, right? Creativity is the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, or entertaining ourselves and others. Now, I remember just saying that innovation is we solving problems in a new way, right? So, how do we solve problems in a new way? Is by creativity. And creativity means that we are either generating a new idea, we are recognizing ideas, or we are finding alternatives or finding possibilities. So when we are saying that we want to foster a creative team, what we mean in essence is that we are creating a team that has the everything it takes to generate new ideas. We are fostering a team that is able to recognize ideas from anything around them. We are fostering a team that can find alternative routes to make things work. Or we are fostering a team that is finding possibilities of making things work in a business. So, what we mean in essence is that for that business to be successful, or for that business to reinvent itself, or to grow across the business life cycle, right? They have to be able to generate, recognize ideas, find alternative ideas, or find other possibilities to get things done. What do I mean in practicality? Um, how many of us remember this campaign by Coke? I said I was going to use Coca-Cola a lot. How many of us remember this campaign by Coke? Let me see your response in the comment section. Remember this campaign by Coke? Please share a Coke with. Let me see your emojis. Just say yes, yes, yes. Interesting. Now, how many of us even found our name? Or we went ahead to buy a Coke just to find our name? How many of us did that? If you did that, just let me know. Yeah. If you went to a store to find your name, or maybe somebody bought a Coke and this Coke has somebody's name, and then it came to tell you that, oh, I got a Coke by you, right? Oh God, yeah, I said it is serious. I'm not sure I saw mine as well, but definitely I saw a lot of people's name, right? So Laura said her name was never found. Your name is actually very interesting. But I'm sure that this thing made a lot more people buy Coke than they would have bought before, just because they were trying to look for their name, right? Oyebuchi said he searched and found. It made a lot of people buy Coke. But how did this come about? It came about by the creative process of a team. So they have in the morning. I think you guys are talking about brand marketing. And I'm sure would have mentioned how a branding team is put together to um, um, grow the business. This thing came about by a team of guys coming together to say, you know what, we are at this point where if we don't grow up, probably the CFO in the board meeting just comes up and say, you know, if we don't reinvent our business or find innovative way to sell, we might be going down in a bit, right? We might be going down in our revenue, we might be going down in sales, or the amount of money that we have to for tech guys call it runway cost, right? I'm not going to go into defining all of those terms now, right? To run the business for a bit of time, um, is we might be running down on that. So it means that if we don't find a way, everybody will lose their job. That comes from the board of directors or from the management team. And then the face, everybody looks at the CMO, the chief marketing officer, and say, what do we do? And he says, you know what, give me 1 week, I'll get back to you on it. And he gets to his team and he says, hey guys, the business is at a point where if we don't generate an idea now, in the next 5 6 months, we will be out of business, which means you guys will not be able to be paid, which means you might actually lose your job. Now we have 1 week to generate a creative idea to help us sell more. Now the team sits together and they start doing what we call a creative process. They start churning out new ideas. They start finding out alternative ways to make sales. They start finding out possibilities, and they came up with this very innovative idea: share a coke with, right? And everybody started looking for how they can share a coke with somebody. I don't know if that makes sense. So this came out because a system or a business allowed the creativity within a team to flow. I don't know if I'm making sense. It came out because the management team or the guys in charge allowed the creativity of the different individuals in that team to flow. So the question now becomes, how do we, especially those of us who are entrepreneurs, who are running small businesses, those of us who are self-employed or freelancers who have to work with other businesses, or those of us who work with a team, how do we foster that creativity in our own team such that we can be able to come up with very innovative ideas that can drive our businesses? That's the goal of our session this evening, right? So I just did all of these things to bring us to this point where we are going to talk about the major thing that helps us to foster creativity. So to do that, we are going to adopt something we a lot of in consulting. We use a lot of frameworks and diagrams and a lot of plenty things like that. You have seen my slides so far. You see that there's a lot of diagrams here and there, right? We use a lot of framework, and one of the frameworks was developed by McKinsey, and it's called McKinsey 7S model, right? So we're going to adopt that model to create 7 pillars of a creative team. 7 pillars of a creative team. So in the next say 20 minutes, so that I can be able to take questions. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to try to break down the 7 pillars of what makes a creative team. If at this point you understand what a creative team is, right? I want you in the comment section to let me just type, I understand, I understand, I understand. Let me see the comment section if you understand what a creative team is, right? Based off on the introduction we've done in the last couple of minutes. Okay, I want more people. Okay, Angela says he understands. Okay, I understand. He understands. Who else? Who else? Let's have it coming. Let's keep it coming. Okay, awesome. So how do we foster creativity in the team? What are the 7 pillars? And this is where my slide is going to be. So the 7 S stands for shared values, strategy, structure, system, style, staff, and skill. I'm going to break down all of this. My slide is basically just a summary slide, so it's not an explanatory slide per se. So it means that if you are not taking notes, you probably might miss out, because this is where my slide is going to be for the next 20 minutes, right? So if you don't have a note, maybe on your phone or a physical notepad, I think I would like to give us like a 30-second space to quickly go and source for a notepad. right? If you don't have a notepad, go and source for a notepad now. Then if you have a notepad with you in the comment section, just type I have my notepad, I have my notepad ready. Just type I have my notepad ready. Just type I have my notepad ready. It looks like some of us do not have our notepads. Okay. Okay, some people just want to, okay, some people just want to pick up their notepad. Interesting. Ready. Awesome. 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 So I said I'm going to adopt this model to describe how to build a creative team or how to foster creativity in the team. And because we have a mixed audience, I'm going to be talking as though I'm talking to a manager. I'm going to be talking as though I'm talking to a team member. I'm also going to be talking as though I'm talking to a what's it called now? An entrepreneur or a self-employed who is trying to build something out of their professional skill. I'm also going to be talking as though I'm talking to an investor who definitely is going to be giving advisory to their businesses, right? So the 7 pillars. One of the very beginning or the most critical thing for every business is what we call shared value. Shared value. So what do I mean by shared value? Um, in the day that we want to start building a creative team, if the team have a disjointed um, idea or a disjointed vision or a disjointed thought or concept of what the business generally is about, that's the very beginning of the catastrophe of becoming innovative. What do I mean? Every business who wants to build a creative team has to start with defining an a value system, a vision, or a mission that everybody in the team has to resonate with. Remember our Coke story, the share a Coke with. I tried to paint a picture. I think somebody is trying to override my screen sharing. Please, right. I think you have to stop sharing your screen. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Okay, I'm back. If you can see my screen now, please let me know. Yes. So I'm saying that okay, thank you very much. So every business that wants to build a creative space starts with what we call shared values. It means, remember the Coke story? I was talking about the Coke story and I was saying that I painted a picture. Meanwhile, I'm not saying that that's exactly what happened, but I painted a picture to say that um, at the management level, it was discussed that if the business does not try to grow their revenue in the next 6 months, they'll be out of business, right? And then we came with a problem. The CMO came to his team and said, you know what, guys, we have 1 week to generate an idea that will grow the business in the next 6 months. Else, we're going to all lose our job. Now, one of the very first things is that a vision is subconsciously defined there. And the vision is create an idea, an innovative idea that is going to grow the business revenue for the next 6 months. Right? So for everybody who is starting a business, for everybody who is currently running a business, if you want to drive creativity in your business, you need to first of all check in your team, do they all believe the same thing about where you are going to? Do they have and by shared values, I remember saying I'm talking about shared vision, shared mission, shared core values. Those 3 elements are the 3 elements of shared value, right? Shared vision, shared mission, and shared core value. The vision is where are we going to, right? The mission is how are we getting there. The value is what are the things that are critical to us for the next few years or for the next few months we are running with this vision. What are the things that are important to us? So if you currently run a business and you think that you want to foster creativity in your team, one of the very first things to do is to assess your team to see, are we even running with the same vision? Are we seeing everybody? Are we going together to the same endpoint? Are we running together? Are we running with the same mission? I mean, every day we come to work, we have similar things that drive the different activities that we do. A lot of the team members are going to be doing different things, right? Talk about the Coca-Cola team. There's a team that's going to be on content. There's a team that is going to be on design. There's a team that is going to be on what's it called? There's a team that is going to be on uh, um doing the ads, running the ads. There's a team that's going to be on PR. A lot of people coming together. There's a team that's going to be on video editing and all of sorts, right? So all of these people are doing different activities. But the question is, are we working together towards one shared vision, one shared mission, and a series of shared values? By the time we can um, agree together that this is what we're working with, it creates the very foundation for us to start building a creative team. It means that all of us are thinking in the same light. All of us are thinking in the same way. Remember, we are saying that creativity has to do with ability to recognize ideas, right? Ability to create ideas, ability to find alternatives, and ability to make find possibilities, right? So if we are going to find possibilities, it means if we are going to find possibilities for a business, which every one of us find ourselves in different capacities, we have to be able to see the business in one light as every other person. The second thing is strategy. Strategy. Um, Creativity in a team, as much as it means that we need to be able to generate ideas, it also means that strategy has to be in place, right? So what strategy means basically, strategy is like a military. It came from a military term. It's basically a set of ways to win a battle, right? So one of the very first things that helps the creativity of your team is creating the foundational ways for which we are going to win a battle. And the battle we are fighting now is the battle for the customer. I don't know if it makes sense. Every business is in a battle for the customer. Every business is in a battle for the customer, right? So what it means is that if we don't have the right strategy to win the customers, our team, no matter how creative they are outside of the team, may not be able to find expression in the team. What do I mean? If we are using what's it called now? Let's use a typical battleground. Since we are say prior to the military term, right? Let's use a typical battleground. Many of us have watched um, war movies, and we know that from in war movies, right? In war movies, they are basically what's it called? They are basically some people who are the command center who tell the team that are fighting in the war front what to do. Those guys develop the strategy, right? And they tell the team what to do. So even though a sniper is part of the team and knows how to snipe very well, if there is no strategy on how best to snipe, he most likely will not be able to express his creative juice with his sniper, right? What I mean is that in your business, if you don't create the foundational strategy, and if what we're trying to do is to work around marketing, it means there has to be a foundational marketing strategy. To develop marketing strategy has to be another concept on its own. I want to believe that session in the morning just a bit around how to develop marketing strategy, right? If it comes to organizational strategy, your business model, your finances, every of those things have strategies to it. But what we are saying is if those strategies are not in place, you will not be able to give your team the creative space to develop what they need to develop. The next is structure. Structure is simply um, defining who works with what, who does what in a system. Now, one of the things we need to know about structure is if you if you don't put structure in place, right, it will hamper how creativity is done. It means that people can start stepping on each other while being creative, right? So to foster a very creative team, What you need to do is to put a structure in place to say, hey, guys, you are in charge of this. You are in charge of bringing up the design. You are in charge of bringing up the um, the video, right? You are in charge of bringing up the content, and all of you are supposed to communicate with each other um, at with so tools, or communicate, have a day in a week where you guys meet to share, maybe like a brainstorming session, and then you report your ideas to this person who vets the ideas and finally picks what we go with. That kind of structure, right, keeps the team guided in their creativity. Now, one of the things you need to, the downside of structure is that some people now tend to put too much structure in their business, that there's a lot of bureaucracy in the system. Example, please, nobody come for me, is our government system. There's a lot of bureaucracy in it, such that people are not allowed with the creativity with the opportunity to express their creativity so much. So you just have to do things the way they are. However, a bit of structure is relevant to make your creative team be more creative or have the space to actually deliver better. Oh, I have a few more minutes, right? So you have to put a bit of structure in place. And what we are saying about structure is defining who does what, defining how communication is done, and when communication is required, and defining who reports to whom in the system. At least these three things are very important. Who does what? If you don't define who does what, everybody can start thinking for another person. And at the end of the day, they are not able to come up with the actual solution that is needed for their own work. So structure helps your business or helps the team to know who is supposed to be thinking about what in the business, right? So I'm saying who does what, how do you communicate, and then who do you communicate to? That's what structure is about. Then systems, right? System is basically introducing the process or procedure to it. And that's where you're now trying to put so system just makes the whole process a bit automated. If you want to go into systems this time, you start talking around things like digitalization and digital transformation, all of sorts, right? We're not doing that. But systems are just simple processes and procedure you put in place, right? Simple processes and procedure you put in place to help the team become more creative. And it means that you will have to learn to infuse technology into it at this point. So what is the system for communication? If you say there's a communication structure, what is the system for communication? Do you have do you use a Slack, for instance, for communication? Do you use a Google Chat? Do you use a Telegram? Do you use a any project management tool? Do you use is it Mira now, or brainstorming tool? What systems do you put in place to aid the creativity of your team? So to foster that thing, you need to start putting these systems in place, put procedures for information flow. Oh, does the team have access to, say, a paid Canva account at the very basic, right? I can help them to explore design ideas. Does the team have access to maybe a paid what's this platform? Is it there you get template, design template, elemental template, and all of that. Do they have systems in place that can help them help their creative process flow well? Those are questions you need to ask. Now, the next is style. We have after style, we have two more to go. Style is basically what's the leadership style like? This is very, very important. What's the yes, Envato, thank you very much. I think we have a bit of some designers on the call, right? Envato is like a place where people have access to download templates and all. It's part of business systems as well, right? But for style now, as we are saying, we are majorly talking about the we are talking about the leadership style and the culture of your business. If you say you want to foster creativity in your team, it means your leadership style should be one that allows people to creatively express themselves. If you have an autocratic leadership style in your business, you most likely are going to kill creativity totally in your business. So you need to start understanding what leadership style is best for creativity, right? You need to start understanding who you are as the leader in the team, or you need to even understand. And basically, when I say leader, it's not just positional leadership, right? They are positional leadership in the team based on the structure, right? Yeah, everybody in the team also leads at some level. Leadership is influence, right? So if you are going to influence the design of that team, right? What method of leadership are you using? But everything flows from the top downwards. So at the top level, what's the leadership style that your business is going to work with? If you don't define that leadership style and you allow the leadership style to define itself, right? It means that it will affect your creativity totally. And you're saying that your problem at work currently, your CEO leadership is affecting your creativity. So defining leadership style helps the creativity of your team. And one of the best um, leadership style to use is transformational leadership, right? A leadership style that is open, that leads by example, open to correction, have an open communication system, right? That when they see things as with the possibilities of it becoming better. That's what transformational leadership is. So when I see you come into the system, I know you are not at that place where you are supposed to be, but I know you can be better. So I begin to put structures and systems and give you strategies that can help you become better and more creative. Right. Okay. Well, our time is almost going. Staffing. Staffing. If you want your team to be creative, you need to pay attention to the kind of people you bring into the team. Some people, some people are just not the kind of people that can work in a creative team. Not because they don't have a creative mind, but I believe that a lot of people have had, they build their life around experiences, educational exposures, right? Their background and a lot of things that has affected the way they think. So some people, by the moment they come into a system and they see you trying to bring up ideas, it becomes as though you are competing with them. Meanwhile, there are some other people when they come into the team, they just give you that opportunity to express yourself. They just help you even become a better person. So it means that if you run a business, you need to be able to recognize the right person. And one of the biggest problems that businesses have actually is bringing the right people in business. It's a people problem. So recruiting and selecting the right staff. But you cannot recruit and select the right staff if you have not defined what your shared values are. Your shared values is what will let you know what are the value system you look out for when you want to recruit. For us at Speed Up, there are four things that are important to us: enthusiasm, growth, right? Collaboration and excellence. So if we are recruiting anybody, one of the first things we need to look out for is how enthusiastic and passionate you are. You can't be you can hear how I'm sounding. You can't be sounding like a no when you are saying a yes and you expect to work with us. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So the kind of people that you bring together in a team also determines what kind of creative team you are going to build at the end of the day. And the last part is skills. Skills. Um, if you want to drive creativity in your team, you need to be intentional about learning and development. The skill of every member of your team, and like I was saying, I'm talking to everybody um, um, who also works in a team. You have to be intentional about learning and development. You cannot be your creativity is limited by what you know. Let me put it like that. Your creativity is limited by what you know. The people who are most creative today are people who have exposed themselves to a wide array of knowledge. So the more you know, the more propensity for you to become creative. I don't know if that makes what I'm saying makes sense. The more you know, the more propensity for you to become creative. So if you are not investing in learning and development, oh, they've been talking about AI, ChatGPT, and every other AI tool. But you are stubborn. You are not learning AI. You cannot, you shall like paper and pen and you want to be doing the same manual way. Oga, you cannot be creative. The world will leave you behind. So if you run a business, it's important to once in a while, we recommend quarterly, right? Do a personnel review session with them. Try to know where was this person at January. This is the end of the quarter, right? Sit with your team and ask the team, where are you now in terms of your skill? Oh, you used to, let me talk about, let me use a finance team for example. Oh, you used to spend 7 hours trying to create a financial model, right? Or you used to spend 3 days because you do your thing manually. You put in the formulas yourself, you do everything yourself. But between that time and now, have you learned how to do it faster? Remember, we are saying that the reason why a business grows is because they found innovative way to do things. Innovative way means that they are finding better ways to solve a problem. And the way to find better ways to solve a problem is to explore new ideas, alternatives, or possibilities, right? So to do that, it means you need to improve your skill so that you can be able to explore new ideas. It can be as simple as learning how to generate Excel formulas from ChatGPT. Oh, I want to do XYZ. What formula will I use? I don't know if that makes sense. So improving your skill by investing in learning and development will help you to expand the horizon of creativity. Okay, my time is up, so I'm going to stop here to say that if these 7 pillars are in place and your team is not creative, you need to visit the nearest pastor or so that they pray for your team. Their problem is beyond the business now, but that's just a joke, right? Um, Basically, with um properly defined shared values, with the right strategy in place, with the right structure in place, right, that does not limit the people, with the right systems in place, the right leadership style, the right set of people staffing, and the right skill set, you can be able to foster creativity in a team, either as the leader of the team, an entrepreneur, or somebody working in the team. So it means that when you know all of these things, you can start influencing some of them as a member of the team. Thank you very much for having me. I would like to take questions now.
That was such a powerful session. Thank you so much, Chika. If this session was an eye opener for you, just as it was for me, can you just? I want to see our emojis. I can see Angela Michael. I can see Toby. I can see Taiwo. I can see Ajayi Pelumi. Come on, I want to see more emojis. Like I can see Amara. Come on, I can see Abraham. This was such an eye opener. Like it was as if we should not stop, but we just have to stop. Um, we just have to stop at some point. All right. So yeah, I can see Fem in the comments section. All right, very quickly because we are pressed for time. We're going to be going straight into the question segment. Please, if you can type your questions, please do so. Lil Jobva, you want to ask your question with voice. All right, so I'll give you 1 minute. Please try as much as possible to make your question as concise as possible because we're pressed for time. All right, over to you. You can unmute your microphone right now and ask your question.
All right. Thank you very much, the Genesis Company. Very quickly, thank you, Mr. Chika, for the presentation. My question is that you are somebody I want to be. What you do is what I also want to do, like my big
Very
picture.
interesting.
And I love everything you said. And it happens that right now I currently work in a consulting firm. I've been the one
Oh,
talking about my CEO. I've been the one talking about my CEO. I started working in January, and I can tell you for a fact I'm a loyalist, and as I try as much as possible to share what I know. Like I see myself as a part of the company, but I just started noticing my CEO's leadership style. Like it's not it's affecting what I want to put in, the more effort. So now I started drawing back, kind of like I just do you understand what I'm trying to say? So
yeah.
the style I've been noticing from her has actually been affecting my trust, and now I'm getting tired of working there. The other
Mm.
part of my question would be, when do I, like, I now I'm feeling like I want to start my own consulting firm. Like I want to be an entrepreneur instead of working for somebody and trying to give all my innovations and they are not as appreciating it and the likes of that. I really want to know if it's right for me to move now, or what would you advise? But honestly, initially I didn't even plan to start out my stuff right now. But the things I've been seeing, I feel like, and I'm not this kind. I'm this type of person that I don't like working in a space with the wrong mindset, I
Mm,
prefer to leave. It's not the money that is the cocoa to me, is the knowledge I could gain there that is most important. But I don't want a situation whereby things happening would also be affecting my mindset. Thanks.
mm. Okay, so what's the question now? Are you saying, oh, you want to leave the team and you're not sure if, or you're working with the team, you don't know how you can help foster creativity, or oh, you want to leave the team and start out your, which of them is the question now?
I want to leave the thing and start my own.
Okay, so are you asking about how do you go about? Are you asking to know how you go about it or what?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's a. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we have the luxury of time to answer how to start out a business, because that's like another session on its own, right? However, I'm going to let you know that if you pay attention to all of the um if you pay attention to all of the things that were mentioned. Sorry, I'm moving my slides a bit. Just trying to uh go through it for anybody who may have missed out on some part of it, right? So yeah, so what I'm saying in essence is that if you're going to start out your own thing, business, there's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to, right? First things first is you need to define your ideas around starting a business. Are you starting this business? Well, people start business for different reasons, right? Why are you starting this business in the first place? And then if you even follow that 7 S I mentioned, you are probably on your path to starting a business. Say, oh, I want to start out first by defining my shared value. What is the vision, mission, core value of my business? What will be my next business objective, right? And then go into business strategy. When we start with enter business strategy, there is a lot of things we start talking about: finance, business model, organizational structure, organizational strategy, operation strategy, and a lot of other things. So there's a lot of things that has to come in play when we are discussing business startup as well. But if it comes to fostering creativity in your team when you're starting your business, just pay attention to the 7S model that was mentioned. You are going to be on your path to great stuff, right? And for where you're working now, one of the things you can try to do is, I don't know what structure is currently in place in the business. There's a place where you people can have team meetings, right? Find creative ways, find um, more respectful ways to actually um, let your team know, without even mentioning names, that there's a way that the team can be positioned to drive creativity in individuals. You cannot say, "Oh, I feel like I can do more, but I don't know what exactly is hindering me." You know, that kind of, just to spark up a conversation, and then you guys can see how you can figure that out. But like I said, with starting the business, that's a large conversation for and that day. But basically, stick with the 7S and it can also help. Thank you very much. Other questions?
Thank you very much, Chika. We're pressed for time, so we are only going to answer the questions that have been asked on the group right now. So any other question you have, you can just send them through the feedback form. There's a link on the group to share your feedback, both the good things that you've experienced, every insight you've gotten, how the conference has been so far, this particular session. Make sure you share your feedback via the form. Yeah, thank you so much. The next question here is from Angela Michael. Okay, let me answer Lawal Samuel's question. Um, you're asking if the recording of the sessions will be available. Yes, the sessions will be available to all community members for free. So please, if you're not already a part of the Genesis Co community, make sure that you join through the link. The Genesis company will be posting a link right now in the chat section so that you can join the community on WhatsApp and get access to all the recordings from all the sessions from the velocity of ideas. All right, Angela's question says, how can we balance familiarity and work as a team leader, especially when you have close friends and family in your team? Chika, did you get the question? How can we balance familiarity and work as a team leader, especially when you have close friends and family in your team?
Okay. Was that the question from Angela? How can you familiarize and work as a team like especially when you have close okay. So why I sorry a minute.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, Chika, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so one of the very key thing about running your business with um friends and family is that we need to learn.
Hi, Chika. I lost you. Please stay with us on the call. We might be experiencing a little bit of network issue. Just stay with us on the call, please.
Okay, guys, since we are out of time already, so if you have your question, you can send it to the Genesis feedback box. We believe and we trust that we'll get back to you as far as you are signing up with your email. I trust. Yes. So thank you so much to the host. Thank you for the speakers. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming. And thank you for yeah, is the network, please. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here because we are here for you to serve you and to make life easy. So do well to follow us on social media, the Genesis Co, Genesis HQ on Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms. Thank you. See you tomorrow morning by 7. Okay, it's back. It's back. Don't let me. It's back.
I so sorry. My internet just
Hi,
went off.
Chika.
I
Welcome
don't know
back.
why. Yeah, so
Angela,
I know
the
you
enemy
already
has not
have
done
your
it.
time. Let me quickly try to answer Angela's question. So you're working with family and friends. One of the things I said is you need to learn intentionally how to separate your business from your relationship as family and friends. Because if you don't do that, emotions will definitely come into play, right? So a way to do that is um ensuring that everybody in the business understands what shared values you run with, right? Everybody understand what structure you run with. And I said something about structure. I'm saying who does what, what's the reporting system, and what how do you report, and then who are you reporting to, right? And then I'll talk about systems. I said processes, procedures. So let your structure and system be built in a way that the people in the business, all right, whether a friend or a family, can see themselves living that business if they don't meet up certain standards. A few things around the organizational structure includes policies, right? The policies that guide the business. So let's say you have a simple policy that at the end of the month, if you don't meet up with XYZ targets, if you don't meet up with uh, delivering XYZ number of things, right? You you have gotten a strike. If that happens for 3 consecutive times, right, then you are out of the company. It's clear to everybody. So at the point where the person consecutively does that, he or she knows that you are not making a decision because you hate him or her. You are making that decision because there is a system and a structure in place that if you do not honor or respect, every other person in the business can start misbehaving as well. So if it is generally as a business, right, or you are leading a team, ensure that you put structures in place and you put systems in place. Structures that will ensure that everybody is seeing barely how that if you don't perform well, you will not be able to continue with us. And the foundation of everything has to be with the um, be on the basis of your shared value. As well, you also need to intentionally build your leadership style, right? You intentionally need to build your leadership style because you are in a situation where you need to now learn how to talk to somebody in such a way that the person sees what you are saying. The person comes into the it starts seeing situation as though you are seeing it, right? So uh improve your leadership skill, use structures and systems in place, and then you'll be able to work with your family and friends. However, if you think that the family and friend is doing too much, you will need to politely let the person go. I've had times where I need to let my friends go as well, right? Because I started this business with friends as well, right? Um, you need to at one point let them normalize having checking calls with your team members. Normalize it month on month. Sit down with the team and say, how did we do this month, right? From your end, how did you do, right? What do you think was the area that you found um, difficulty in? Normalize it. Then in that call, you cannot be able to tell, you know what, we noticed this about what you did this month. What's the reason? If you have that kind of call, it's easy to let the person start seeing how you see the business, right? So in your structure, normalize a monthly check-in call, a one-on-one call with your team member. I believe that will help. Thank you very much. Angela, does that help? Just
Thank
in
you so
case
much,
you
Chika. Thank you so much, Chika. We
okay.
are pressed for time. Thank you so much. I feel like if we give you another 2 hours, it still won't be enough to answer all questions.
I'm sorry,
All right,
it's
as
not
we
my
wrap
fault.
up, do make sure you follow us, the Genesis Conference on all social media platforms at the Genesis underscore HQ. At the Genesis underscore HQ. Follow us so you could get updates and make sure that you join the community so you can have access to all the recordings of the session. You can also connect with Mr. Chika. I see a couple of people asking how they can connect with him. I think you can connect with him on Instagram at Grow with Chika and Facebook and LinkedIn at Chika Isaac. On Instagram at Grow with Chika, Facebook on and Instagram at Chika Isaac. This is where we draw the curtains. Once again, my name is Laura Abdullahi. You can find me on Instagram at King Laura, and I had a swell time with every single person here. Do have an awesome night rest. Thank you to Genesis Co for having me. Good night, everyone. Thank you once again, Chika.
Thank you very much
Yes.
for having us too.
Thank you to the speaker. Thank you to the host. We are so glad to have you today, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you so much, Shika. Thank you so much, Lorat. Yeah, bye.
Telling me I'm lost, getting too loud. Had to see a therapist and I found out something funny's going on up in my house. Yeah, it started taking me